members, welcome to Long Branch.
Excuse me, ma'am, just say your name and your town.
Yes, Patty Verrochi, 246 Jerome Avenue, Oakhurst.
I'm sorry, is it Patty or Patty?
Patty. I wanted to say welcome to Long Branch, but unfortunately it's not such a grand welcome as the Long Branch of our history, or it's not even the family-friendly Long Branch of my own youth. I grew up in Long Branch. I went through all grades in Long Branch except for first and second. My father was in the Army. I've attended all council meetings for the past year and a half, and also some of the county meetings. You may remember me from last year. Due to the West End overlay, my objection to the West End overlay design, my mom's house is in West End, and I spend at least 50% of my time with my elderly mom, helping her out as much as possible. I am to inherit the house one day, and I'd like to see Long Branch become more grand and family-friendly like it was in our youth. Recently, I was told by the mayor of Long Branch that because I don't live or pay taxes in Long Branch, that he couldn't seem to understand why I was inputting or giving my 2 cents worth. And I was trying to convey that Long Branch shouldn't just cater to the rich, the famous, or the corrupt, but it should try to be more worried about the safety of the people, all people in Long Branch, the handicapped, the aged, the youth, making jobs happen for Long Branch people, saving tax dollars. As others said here, the tax abatements should not happen on prime real estate property. It should be doing more for the locals, the year-round residents that pay huge amounts in taxes. Some similar to the problems that the overdevelopment on Ocean Avenue, Ocean Boulevard, with the bicycles. You know, they keep wanting to build and build and build, but now we're stuck with no safe place for anybody to be. You can't send bicycles down Ocean Boulevard. It's very dangerous. We were told by, again, the mayor said it was a county problem, and we had to ask you, what do we do with bike riders wanting to go on Ocean Boulevard? I'd like to see what you think of that, for one, but I'll finish with my 5 minutes. I'd like to see stopping of the abuse of the tax abatements, the development, and the lack of the development, as a good 80 to 90% of Long Branch is, except for Pier Village. I'd like to see that we keep the beach access as open and free. Not all of the beaches. Obviously, it's a big source of income that we need, and it's a gold mine. We're lucky to have it. That's, I think, what drew so many, we know that's what drew so many people to the shores, and Long Branch in particular. We have a beautiful boardwalk now, but we need to make sure that we keep those public accesses open. We also, West End now sits treeless. There's no trees. It's vacant. Prime oceanfront businesses are sitting, crumbling, like the movie theater, awaiting for a decision of some sort. That needs to be moved along, and we did ask you for some help with the West End Park and the movie theater. And instead of putting things there that is going to cause more congestion and more problems, we asked if you could please help and maybe discuss the Green Acres for expanding the West End Park. The Ocean Boulevard and the Ocean Avenue problem right now is a huge problem, and just as other speakers were stating, Long Branch doesn't seem to really want to include its citizens in that decision-making process. And then I also wanted to ask about the Tackanassie Lake easements with the Green Acres recently, the resolution that was brought up.
John, can you talk about the Tackanassie? Is there?
We don't have any involvement in that
aspect of it. I know as far as you're talking about the sediment removal, we've had discussions with the city as far as going to phase 2 of the sediment removal project, but that was at the extent of the county involvement.
Okay, so there are no plans to, the lake is looking horrible, horrible. And we were concerned citizens showing up at the last few council meetings. And we were told that the east side of Lake Tappanassi was not affected by this easement and that it was owned by the private developers there. And it just doesn't make sense because all the information we're finding is that it was not privately.
That's not a county issue, that's the municipal issue. The only problem is that the county had Lake Tappanassi.
Was just the dredging.
Was the dredging, which was phase 1. The county and the city have commitments together that as the city has funds available, so that the county will participate in phase 2 dredging project.
Is there dredging that's going to happen on the east side of the lake?
The next phase is from Woodgate Avenue to the trestle.
Okay. So what about on the east side of the bridge?
Again, that would be up to the municipality whether they want to go forward with any type of further dredging projects or enhancements. That would be a municipal issue.
But we were told that that was the private property on that side.
And as far as the bike lanes, so let me just give a little insight on how that works. We created somewhat of a pilot program, okay, and with 2 towns, Rumson and Fairhaven, with the partnership, and it's actually being noticed statewide now, the program. But what we do is we brought in the stakeholders, which are the municipalities. So we look at county roads with the request of the municipality, okay, but they also have to be our partner in it. And there has to be a destination to go to, whether it's a school, bike lane, park bike lanes, or destination, but somewhere or another, it can't be open-ended. We look at when we're paving that road, where the roads are paved, we incorporate it then, and then we do somewhat of a cost share with them. So at the end of the day, you know, liability-wise, okay, it falls on the partners, which are the municipality. It just doesn't go directly down a county road, okay? It has to tie into a local road, into a destination. So we're always welcome to, you know, talk to the towns, and we have such a great relationship with Long Branch, where we would entertain a discussion when we talk. You know, it's a long process because there's a lot of thinking, and it's not just striping a road. I will tell you that, because wouldn't you agree? Because we talked about that for a while. And go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things also, Patty, is the fact that everything that's done on a road, whether you paint a line, put a sign up, whatever alike, has to go through a traffic study, a county traffic study. Tom is liaison to that department, does a fabulous job there. What we had to do on Rumson Road is shrink the lanes, but that had to come from the permission of the DOT, the state DOT. They went from what, 12 feet to 11 feet, so we had a little more room on each side. Now there are those people that question that a great deal. Gee, it's really not enough room, this, that, the other thing. The bike riders love it. And it's functioned up to this point.
Sure, and you know, there's so many things you got to think about when putting these bike lanes. I'll tell you perfect examples, and I had it, and I won't name what municipality it was, but as we're sitting there with the mayors, and they wanted this, and I respect that, because every mayor, you know, they want to do the best for their municipality. They look at it, and I said, so what days is your brush cleanup? What days you leaf cleanup from October to then? Well, how do you stop people from putting leaves there, and what happens to those people when those leaves are out to the bike lanes?
Right.
And so these are all ordinances that they had to change to incorporate and implement this process. I mean, and I know it sounds minor, but those things are, it's reality. Leaves fall, tree limbs fall, brush there, garbage pickup, people parking in the street there, no parking on there. You know, then those residents that don't want it, because what are you doing? If you're putting a no parking in a bike lane, you're taking parking away from in front of their house. Right. There's all those things that come into play, so it's got to be a total buy-in from the residents, the municipality, and the county, and if it works, we're willing to work with it.
Like, I don't know who's made the decisions as far as, like, Ocean Boulevard, the way it's been the last few years. Those dividers have been put in so that you can't go across in some areas. Of course, the construction with the boardwalk took up some of the, side streets and the dead-end streets leading to the ocean. But it's a very dangerous street. I mean, if I have no problem walking, and I have trouble getting across Ocean Avenue. I can't see if my mom, seniors, or someone who was, forget a wheelchair, or if you're a family riding with your children alongside you or behind you, it's extremely dangerous. And, the idea with the Save Ocean Avenue, for bikes and pedestrians makes sense, but the answer isn't just to dump the bikes on Ocean Boulevard, because that's not a safe issue.
No, we take, and I commend that man sitting right there, Joe Tour. When I tell you, he is as detailed a person. Trust me when I tell you he's detailed. And he is detailed and does a phenomenal job. And when he puts his stamp of approval on something, you very, very, very rarely see it not work perfectly. I can't say the same for the state, because some of the things that they design and we look at, we say, we question there. But, I can tell you, it might take us a little longer because we have so many requirements, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, 9.5 out of 10 times, it works perfectly.
And you know what? Anything that's done, as I stated before, on a road has to come from a governing body.
True.
In the city or in a borough or a township. And that has to come via resolution or formal letter from the governing body or the administrator or the borough clerk.
Because we would have 600,000 people writing us letters.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Thank you.